Thank you guys all so much, all you crazy DC Zack Snyder fans out there. Snyder Cut released. This is a real thing. I can't believe it happened. A tip of my hat to you, ladies and gentlemen. Great job. Let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't believe I get to give a positive review about Justice League. Yes, there's been other films that have been brought to life or been changed because of fans, but never on a scale quite like this, with a budget quite like this, with content quite like this. Like, hey everyone, welcome to Mr. Teach Film Preach. And if you're a lover of films as much as I am, and if you learn from films as much as I do, then you are in the right place. And if you feel like you're in the right place, maybe consider clicking like down below and subscribe to my channel. That would be amazing. I'm so excited to have you guys join us today. Please let me know down below what you guys think of Zack Snyder's Justice League. What did you think of the 2017 Justice League overall? And give me your thoughts. I would love to hear them, especially for this specific film. So excited. So excited. I can't even keep my containment. I'm like bobbing up and down about the 2021 film, Zack Snyder's Justice League. It is here. It has arrived. I have to be very upfront with you guys from the beginning. Not that excited to see this film. I know. Let me explain. After Justice League came out in 2017 and that dumpster fire of a film, I was like, okay, they need to leave that Justice League and those guys alone. You need to go in a different direction. Come back to Justice League in 10, 15 years and do it properly then. Getting Zack Snyder and Warner Bros. To release the Snyder Cut. And I just thought, why don't they just leave it alone? Move on. Let's go on to something new. But the fan base, you guys that are so into this, fans stirring up, pushing for this, really expressing their love and passion for this film, and that they really wanted to give Zack Snyder his opportunity to show his vision of this film. And I've never been more wrong in my life. I'm so glad that I changed my tune. I actually checked out the film. I was nervous, but I was excited. And I am so happy that this movie delivered. This movie starts off right from the end of Batman vs. Superman, and it moves into after Superman is killed. Batman feels tremendous guilt and a weight on his shoulders to make things right, as he promised he would to Superman on Superman's grave. And we get to then see a whole world of Batman, Bruce Wayne, trying to find these other metahumans around planet Earth, pull them together as a team to unite, go against the dark forces of evil, and to stop an invasion of Earth. That's pretty much the quick synopsis of this film. But they scrapped a bunch of Zack Snyder's ideas and his vision and cut out certain things. They cut out over 2 hours worth of stuff that they filmed that should have been in the original movie, and it just wasn't. They did a bunch of reshoots. They changed things to the story. They changed the look of the movie. It just was a bad idea, and that's why the film tanked. This is such a great victory for the film industry, for the fans, and also just for Zack Snyder himself, that he really got to then tell his story, his vision, the way he wanted to, and we get to see it and enjoy it. And this movie is 1,000 times better than anything that they showed in the 2017 version. Righteous! As I was watching this movie, I kept saying every scene, that wasn't in the 2017 version. How come they cut that out? Why isn't that scene in the original version? Why did they get rid of this? How come they color-coded this scene like orange and some strange creatures? What happened to this storyline? What about these characters? Different of a film Zack Snyder's Justice League is compared to the 2017 Justice League. It's like Hubie Halloween, for anyone who saw Adam Sandler's Hubie Halloween. That's what 2017 Justice League was like. Zack Snyder's Justice League is like Inception. The difference between Hubie Halloween and Inception, you can't even compare the two. It's exactly the same way for these two movies. Polar opposites. Even though they have the same scenes in them, but the way that Zack Snyder executes his version and the things he added and the things that he originally shot and the way that he did his epic of these gods and titans fighting, is so much better than the 2017 watered down version of Justice League. It is astonishing to me that this happened. And actually, I gotta say, as an artist myself, it actually was really sad for me. I was quite disheartened that this film wasn't released in 2017. The actors are so much better in this movie because they actually get screen time. They actually get a chance to flesh out their characters. They get a chance to really show what these characters are like, their interactions with each other, the camaraderie between them, the way that they deal with one another. The humor in this movie is so much better. The Flash is hilarious. I can't wait for his own movie, and hopefully he gets to continue to play the Flash in the future. Cyborg is such a big, important part of this film. In the 2017 version, he's barely in it. He's got like 2 scenes with his dad. He's got a little tinkering here and there, and that's about it. Aquaman actually delved a little bit more into that world of Atlantis. A great lead up to then the Aquaman movie that comes after this. Barry Allen with the Flash, you really got to see how important he is to the story, to the conflict, and even at the climax.
Stop right there. I'm in.
All of our heroes really get a great few moments in the spotlight. This movie balances all 6 of these characters, from Superman to Batman to the Flash, Cyborg, Wonder Woman, and Aquaman. You really get all these characters get really a good amount of screen time. The way that Superman comes back is so great. The build up to that is what is so important. The reason that this film works so well is because it needs that 4 hours to tell this whole story. We need backstory to really get into this world, this universe, this conflict between Steppenwolf and the Justice League. We needed to understand their characters so we can feel for them, so we can understand them. And this is proper storytelling. This is my problem with a lot of movies nowadays, is that they rush through character development. They rush through showing us the things that are actually truly important to the character. They just want to show action, action, action. Like, have things that are flashy and beautiful. Well, if we don't have a character that we care about and a story that we're invested in, who cares about the action? Who cares about what it looks like? We want to be invested in these stories. And these are such great characters that they get to work with. And in the 2007 Justice League, it felt like they didn't know what to do with the characters. They fumbled them. They just sort of kind of, in here, hopefully it makes a good movie. And it just doesn't. Warner Brothers seems to play things safe and it never works out, but then when they take these big risks and gambles with Zack Snyder's Justice League or Christopher Nolan rebooting the Batman series, those are the times where they actually have legit, real, amazing success. And I think they just simply need to be taking more risks in the future. To me, this is one of the best DC films that they've done so far. This is such an amazing, epic, sweeping, huge, almost Shakespearean and comic book genres smashed together. These huge titans, these gods are fighting each other, and it's epic, and the scale and scope of this movie is ginormous. It feels big, it feels over the top, and I loved every minute of it. There were some legit surprises in this film. I didn't expect that. Because the movie had already come out a few years ago, yeah, Superman comes back, we get that. Yeah, they're gonna go up against Steppenwolf, we got that. But there were some 2 or 3 plot points or characters that were introduced in this that I was like, oh! It was great to see the Green Lantern Corps incorporated into the story. That opening 30-minute scene where it shows like Wonder Woman, it was amazing. I love her theme music. She is such a kick-ass character in this. You really get to see Wonder Woman. How come Wonder Woman is so amazing in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but then is really not that great in Wonder Woman 1984? 1984 should have been better.
Shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Love the Amazonian women in this. The whole Themyscira scenes are just astonishing. So many great character actors in all these parts. The mythology that Zack Snyder's trying to build in his film is great. He did a great job building that world and allowing us to explore it with those characters. The bantering back and forth between like Aquaman and the Flash and Cyborg, and when they're all meeting and talking about things, it's just like, oh, it's like a comic book nerd's dream come true.
My special skills include viola, web design, fluent in sign language, Gorilla sign language.
Like when the Avengers assembled for the first time, this too for me was like the first time really seeing the Justice League come together properly and fall in love with it. And I did. This movie deserves so much love and recognition. It is shot beautifully. There are some great slow motion things, very Zack Snyderisms that are throughout this movie. This is one of the best uses of his own Zack Snyderisms that he's ever done. You know, sometimes you get a little bit excessive with it. You can see that in The Watchmen, 300, Sucker Punch. But with like Man of Steel and this, like you really see the epic, massive scale of these gods and fighting titans and over the top people that you can really see he was going for. His vision, it's dark, it's gritty, but it's also huge and spectacular and wonderful and out of this world, and he really pulls it off. The fact that this movie is even around, that it's even in existence, this version, is a victory. I had a spectacular time with this film. A few things that I was like, not so much maybe on. First of all, the runtime. You know, being a 4-hour film, anyone's gonna have a hard time sitting through it. But you know what? You can watch it at home. You can sit down and stream it. It doesn't feel like 4 hours. Yes, I feel like this movie would be hard to sit through in a theater for 4 hours, even as exciting and as amazing as it is. And I kind of do want to go see it in the theaters. Sitting in there for 4 hours is a long time. But on streaming service, in parts 1 through 6 and an epilogue, we can actually have like breaks. You can take breaks.
Look at that guy's taking 5. 250-pound 5.
I don't know if I necessarily would have made this a 4-hour film. I actually think that this content would have been a lot better in the format of like a mini-series. You know, doing like a 6 or 8 part mini-series. It's Justice League Part 1. And then, you know, in a few years from now, they could do another mini-series of Justice League Part 2 and really take our time developing the action, the tension build up to the action, to these great plot reveals, the wonderful backdrops. You really get to explore that in a mini-series version. But no, they want to make a movie. It has to be a movie so we can make all this money. They need to change up their mindsets a little bit. If it's better served as a miniseries, make it a miniseries. That's why I like Band of Brothers, the HBO miniseries, so much. That's what they should have done for Justice League. The other thing about this film that was maybe not so great was the CGI. I can understand though why, because they weren't maybe given such a great budget to go reshoot some scenes or to reanimate certain things and change certain stuff. They might not have had the time or the budget necessarily to complete that, and I understand that. So if this was like a regular viewing, like I went to see this in the theaters, it was being released for the first time as this way, I might have been a little bit more harsher on the judgment of the CGI, because at times it did seem very video game-ish. It was clear like where they had the money for the CGI in the action and where they didn't. You can really distinguish it, but I'm very forgiving of that. Yeah, the runtime's a little long. Yeah, the CGI at some parts could have been fixed a little bit here and there. And there's maybe about 10 to 15 minutes that could have been edited out of this movie, especially that epilogue at the end took way too long to end this movie. It did feel very much like Lord of the Rings, where where the last 20 minutes you're like, okay, there's like 8 endings here. What is going on? Oh my gosh, okay, that's cool that they put that character in there or that they showed us that scene, but it didn't feel like it was a necessary part of the storytelling, and that would have actually helped out the film just a little bit. But besides all that stuff, this film is a awesome action film, a wonderful superhero movie. It is just such a pleasure and delight that this movie was actually made and that it is in existence, and I'm so happy, and that's all because of the fans. I give the utmost respect to you guys for making that happen, and we got to enjoy this. I'm so happy right now. You know what was a really great indicator that this movie was awesome? Was that I was able to get my wife to watch it, and she loved it. She was so not interested in this film. She is not really into Batman and Superman. She likes Wonder Woman a little bit. She's not really into the superhero genre like how I am. She sat down about 20 minutes into the film and stayed for the rest of the 3.5 hours, and she loved it. Victory for this guy. Yes! Yes! I'm so happy for Zack Snyder. I'm so happy for you guys as fans, and I can't wait to hear all your thoughts and comments. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Zack Snyder's Justice League an A. So what did you guys think about Zack Snyder's Justice League? Did you like it more than the 2017 version? Or did you think that this was an incomplete and unnecessary film that you could have just done without? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And if you like this video, click like and subscribe. That would be beautiful. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and checking out Mr. Teach Film Preach. Come back for some more videos. I'm going to be releasing a few more reviews later this week as we continue into the Oscar Academy Awards season. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the beautiful spring weather. And as always, let's get taught.